radiallahu anha, even though she's an amazing narrator, no doubt to her memory, but she's not reporting something that she saw. When was she born is something that she was told by other people. That's why in some hadith she said 7 for engagement and some at 6. Both sahih, one in Muslim and one Bukhari, right? So, yeah, go ahead, bro. You got a question? I mean, or I'm not done.
But you still got a man marrying a woman at 7.
We don't, right? First thing, that is not a marriage because they don't consummate. That is what today we would consider an engagement, where you would make a deal, but there would be woman would still live at home. They would not be with the husband, right? Now, going further, there is nothing in the Quran or any hadith that is marfu from the Prophet ﷺ that mentions the age of Aisha. The only thing that's mentioned in those hadith is the Prophet waited until she was physically past puberty, meaning she was physically matured for relation.
It must have been 9,
right? It could be 9, it could be more, it could be less, it could
what
be
is
the
the consensus?
Well, there is no consensus. This is something that Muslim scholars have discussed and debated for centuries. Ibn Sa'ad and others, they've given numbers higher, right? Now, what I'm going to show you now is going to be from scripture. And that's why I'm saying if you're going to make that standard, it has to be, this verse has to call out the age, then you don't have that for Aisha in the Quran.
You can't say that because I didn't say that you couldn't take that position.
Okay.
I never said that you could take the position that's why I asked you, do you respect the hadiths? Because in some Muslims that I deal with, they'll say, I don't deal with no hadiths. I only deal with the Quran. Yeah. So once you say you deal with the hadiths and you say you respect Sahih al-Bukhari, if Sahih al-Bukhari then quotes or narrates Aisha, and Aisha says she was 6 years old.
Right. But what's missing in there? Did the Prophet say so?
Okay.
I'm asking the question.
I don't study it like that. I would imagine imagine that it's not the Prophet saying that based on how you ask the question.
I got you.
But that doesn't mean that Aisha is lying on her age.
Absolutely.
Doesn't mean that she wasn't 9 when Muhammad had sex with her. He's a freak. Right. Like I told you, he Epstein.
Easy.
He'd be on Epstein Island right now. Police be upon him. He'd be on Epstein Island right now.
You see the disrespect? Right.
Oh, I can't say that? Oh, my bad.
You don't see that as disrespect?
I try not to say that.
9 is pretty young, but clarify.
Okay. So
thank you for saying 9 is pretty young. We got to have some common sense. But you want to show me something?
Yeah, I got you.
What is that?
I'll show you a few things. This is Rashi. I'm sure you know Rashi well, right?
Yeah.
You know Rashi? No, you look uncomfortable now.
No, I don't look uncomfortable, but Rashi is not about to be the authority. But go ahead and show me the lies Rashi about to tell you.
So Rashi is a liar?
Yeah, tell me what he about to say when he put the head.
You see that? You see?
No, I would say Rashi is a liar. Oh, so let me give you my stance because it looks like you're about to read some Talmudic stuff.
Yeah.
I don't go by the Talmud. The Talmud, you can play with babies, you know.
Okay, that's
private parts and stuff
wrong,
like
right?
that. Yeah, hell, yes. So when they start talking about the ages of Mary, for example, they make Mary young, even though there's no verse in the Bible that makes Mary that young. They make
Mary when she got married.
The Bible doesn't say a virgin.
I mean, if you're gonna take that,
I'm gonna give you.
Let me just ask you one thing, just so I can understand. And I apologize.
See how we like kind of worked it out where we can interrupt each other and be all right. All right. I had to teach you that too. Yeah, I had to teach you.
I think I had to teach you.
No, slow down, Swifty. You interrupted first. I taught you a little bit. It's all right.
You slow down, man. You got too many contradictions to be able to answer.
Crazy.
All right. If the criterion is that it has to be in the Bible, right? For it to, because you were quoting church fathers and all that, even though but you did quote them, right? Okay. So then I would say, okay, let's use the same criterion that it has to be in the Quran. If you're going to use that, right?
You have every right. Okay. And that's why I said I don't argue that. If you took the position that you don't respect, and here's where I make the difference. I don't respect nothing Talmudic from any Rashi, Hashi, any other cat like that because they're not spiritual to me. But you do take hadiths. That would be the only difference I would say between us. If you said, nah, that's why I asked you, do you respect Sahih al-Bukhari?
Right.
Once you say, yeah, like if I would have said, yeah, I respect Rashi, then whatever you read out of that, I would have to say, I Rashi. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference between us. So you can't say, I can't ask you nothing outside the Quran because the hadith that I referenced is a hadith that you go by. As opposed to you asking me about Rashi, I don't go by that.
I got you. So let me now clarify. And I appreciate the good conversation. So I believe in the Quran, no doubt. I believe in all of the ahadith that are established from Al-Mustafa alayhi salatu salam, no doubt. I believe in that. But hadith are not like the Quran. In hadith, especially when they're not the hadith of the Prophet, when companions are mentioning something, they can make mistakes. They're human beings. I'm not saying they're lying, but they can make mistakes. And this is something that's well established in the hadith sciences. You think that was funny?
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I ain't saying they lying. They just making a mistake.
Yeah, that's not a joke. I mean, Sean,
Human error happens everywhere,
right?
Every industry.
I mean, for example, if Sean,
I think she would know she's a kid, though.
Look, she never said I'm a kid.
9 is
but
a kid.
Her
6 is a kid.
Can I finish?
I'm sorry. Look, I told you, you don't like it all the time. Go ahead.
I got you. All right.
Go ahead.
So, for example, if I ask Sean, how old are you? Right? Now, Sean was not conscious at the time of his birth. He has to go to his birth certificate, or he has to go to his passport, or he has to go to his parents, and that's how he's going to get his age. Now, I know many people from other countries that their birthday is always January 1st. And like, why is their birthday always January 1st? Because when they came to this country, their parents just wrote January 1st, and they made up years. Now, if Sean tells me I'm just going to make an age, right? I'm 27, for example, because that's what his birth certificate said, right? Later on, his parents tell him, you know what? When you were young, we were traveling, we made a mistake. I'm sorry. You're actually 30, for example, right? It's not that Sean's lying, but he made a mistake based on what others told him. Now, on that, Aisha radiallahu anha, in one of the hadith says 7 and one says 6. So this means she has no surety because she's reporting something that others told her. And if you take that, her older sister Asma bint Abi Bakr, she actually gives out chronologically events that happened because the Arabs, did you know they had no calendar? Did you know that?
I didn't know.
You did not know that. The Islamic calendar, the Hijri calendar, started with Umar ibn Khattab. So Arabs had no calendar. They had no way to date years. How would they remember dates? By events. Oh, the year when the elephants attacked, the year when it rained a lot. So those dates, many times, if you go to anybody's age in Islamic documentation, you will find different numbers. Even Islamic scholars later on, we find difference in their ages. Why? Not because somebody's lying, because they didn't have that type of documentation until the time of Umar when they started the Hijri calendar. So it's not, there is a big difference between somebody not being sure of their age and somebody lying. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, let me finish.
Oh.
So
we just went on a whole diatribe, but go ahead.
I'm trying to explain something, man. I'm trying to educate you.
You didn't explain it.
I did. I just taught you when the Islamic calendar started, right? You didn't know that before, right?
You ain't teach me that she wasn't. You telling me she either 6 or 7.
Did you know that?
Neither one of them gets him out of the Epstein Island.
Did you know that?
I'm sorry, I can't say that no more.
All right. So, if we're gonna go with the principle that you have set for yourself, that it has to be only in the Bible, nothing else is acceptable to you, then I would say I would use the same for the Quran. Not that I don't respect hadith, because I'm sure there are other literature other than the Bible that you respect some of it, but you don't hate everything else, right?
My position on anything outside the Bible is that it has to line up with the Bible.
Excellent.
If it lines up with the Bible, then I rock with it. If it don't line up with the Bible, I don't.
100%. I believe that everything outside of the Quran has to line up with the Quran. And I believe all authentically established hadith line up with the Quran. So I respect hadith, but hadith go through a science of being checked. And even if the chain is authentic, the sanad, at times the mutun, the text, have contradictions. And that's why we have a whole science called...
You about the hadith have the contradictions? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is, in hadith, the texts, the wording of the hadith, sometimes contradict. And we have a science...
So they have contradictions.
Oh, man, can I finish, bro? Right? We don't have contradictions because there's a science called mukhtalaf al-hadith that goes and finds out why. Was there a word flip? Was there a mistake? And if there is, we consider that to be a weak hadith. Even if originally the chain was strong. This is called shadh. What's it called?
Shadh.
There you go. You learn something else. I'm
going to forget it. No, let me see.
No, I don't know. Forget
it. What I do want to point out,
right?
I do want to point out, though, that I taught him again to run from them hadiths because he did not want to deal with Muhammad sleeping with a 9-year-old.
I am not running from anything. But what I'm saying
said
is,
I can't use it.
What I'm saying is, if we are going to use extra scriptural evidences, then I'm going to bring some as well. Sean, is that fair?
Fair.
Thank you. Then I'm going to bring some. Can I?
No, I don't mind. No. I don't mind you reading it. I just want for the record, the Bible has never said that goes with it. And actually in Isaiah 34:16, it says, read from the book of the prophets, none shall want her mate. So many people have tried to mate books like that to the Bible. And our Bible says not. That's why we reject that. That's why we reject the Quran. That's why we reject Hadith. We reject anything trying to marry itself to our book.
But then you quoted a church father trying to explain something from the Bible.
But as I stated earlier, the only thing that I would ever use is if it lines up with the Bible. So the as was supposed is in the Bible explaining levirate marriage. That's what the as was supposed means.
Are you saying nothing can marry with it, or if it's in line with it, then you accept it?
The church father explaining the historical evidence of Joseph's father is not a book. It's not. It's not a whole.
In a book later.
It's not a whole Quran, Hadith, whatever that is, where they're writing everything. Where you have to now accept everything that's contained in that. See, like that's our position.
So, again, I made it clear, and I'm going to make it clear again. We do not accept every hadith.
No.
Hadith.
I'm not speaking
weak at times.
I wasn't answering. Wait, you ain't got to get offended at this one
I'm not offended at all.
But I wasn't speaking on you. I was mainly making a comparison why we don't line up with those things because of what comes with it. So even if I was let's say if I was a follower of the Quran and I took the position of you that if it's not in the Quran, I don't follow it. I wouldn't follow no hadiths. It would just be the Quran.
I don't take that view.
No, I'm not saying you take that.
Okay. I thought you said the position of you. So
no, if I took the position of you, well, in this conversation, you're saying
I didn't say that. Again, please.
Okay, then let's go into the hadith and show about her sleeping with a 9-year-old.
I'm going to explain it again, and I'm going to be very, very clear.
But you can read that all day. That ain't gonna bother me.
We're going to read it all day.
Okay, go ahead, read it. We can get right to you reading it.
Good. But I want
since we're gonna go into the hadith with a 9-year-old.
I want to clarify my stance on the Quran.
We know your stance.
Well, I don't think you did because you
wrong. The Quran. Your stance is you go by the Quran. You respect the hadiths. They're strong. By the hadith, right? They are strong hadiths. They are weak hadiths. Yeah. So some of them you don't give the same prominence to than the others. So I understand your position.
You want to pound on that one?
No, we're not pounding on that one.
I'm just saying if you want it.
No, let's pound after when we get through Muhammad pounding out Aisha at 9 years old. We can pound that.
Right. And none of that is in the Quran or in Hadith mentioned.
Have sex, you got to pound out. He pounded out a 9-year-old.
All right. So this is from Rashi, and if you don't know who Rashi is, then anybody.
No, I know who Rashi is.
Nothing for you.
Oh, okay.
You already said you know. You hate him, right?
No, but you looked at me like as if I didn't. That's why I was making sure.
And then there. So.
Nah, you stopped right here first, and then you went over to Sean.
All right, Sean, do you know who Rashi is?
I don't.
Okay. For those that are watching, you can also Google who Rashi is.
Sidebar. Why y'all start with this Evian and then you got these 2 purified waters right here? That's diabolical.
I didn't bring those.
Oh, okay.
I only drink out of glass.
Yeah, right. I heard.
Yeah. I think plastics are bad for you. I'm with you on that one. All right. So
my oils are in glass, not plastic.
Yeah. So anybody that wants to, you can Google who Rashi is as well. Looking at the camera, not you. Rashi is one of the most authoritative and well-known commentators of the Bible. Christian and Jewish scholars, you can see quoted from him. And just like the church fathers didn't speak to anybody, their works were documented in later books, and that's how you get to them. A lot of the biblical history and tradition is documented through Rashi. He was 12th century, again, from the people who commentated on the Old Testament. I think he's the most widely accepted and respected scholar, Rashi. You can look him up.
Yep.
Jewish scholar of the Old Testament. So he says here in his commentary, for when Abraham came back from Mount Moriah after the binding of Isaac, and for each one he gives the verses. So I'll give you a scan of this. You can go home and you can mark.
You're talking about Isaac now?
Abraham here.
Okay.
From the binding of Isaac, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give this to you. I mean, he gives the actual Hebrew verses for every single point here.
Just give me the no. I don't. You ain't got to give me the book.
Okay,
but you can give the verses.
Not the book,
no, you can give me the verses.
All right, go ahead. So let's go through it.